Iskall just gives up on Hermitcraft, dang. Did you not watch his video that he put out a couple of days ago? Did you censor yourself, or is that the actual book title? Oh no, I censored myself. I didn't realise I was considering that until I literally just said it, by the way. So Jammink, thank you for 68 months. Somehow I didn't get into the last season of Hermitcraft, but I'm looking forward to what y'all will do. Thank you, my dude. Yeah, the next season for me is going to be a return to Hermitcraft of old. Since season 6, there has been an effort to try and elevate what we do. And, well, actually, there's always been a bit of that. We've always been conscious of how Hermitcraft is, you know, playing Minecraft, but it can be more than that at times. It can be more than that at times. And so there's been a strive for a long time. I feel like that strive was something that I tried to bring to the group from season 2 onwards. And then around season 4, it started to get echoed back by other hermits who wanted to try and, you know, air quotes, take things to the next level. That really accelerated with season 6 and season 7, and then I think for me it just went too far with season 8. Like, I went totally out of my comfort zone and kind of learned that, you know what, I really like just the Minecraft game and the Minecraft world, and I'm not a storyteller, and that's okay. So I'm just having a waffle, apparently, about Hermitcraft. So for me, this next season is going to be like, but I think more like season 6. I want to focus on doing all those Minecraft farms and having fun building a base and not get sucked into storylines and role-playing. It's not for me, and I'm starting to feel that inspiration come along lately, which is really good. Today I had a day off from working out, so pretty much all day cleaning the house, and that went exceedingly well. So I've got a lot of that done, which means probably by Monday, everything will be done. The deep clean will be over. I'll be free to set my time towards getting ready for the next season. Wastelands 2.0, says Rigsdigs. Nah, I don't want to repeat myself. I saw JoeHills was doing a lot of it live. That is something I'm considering, actually. I didn't realise I was considering that until I literally just said it, by the way. It was like, hang on a minute, that's a great idea. Joe always films live, says Winnie T. Ford. Yeah, I think there's great value in a little bit of surprise and suspense and not sharing everything. I think Joe goes pretty much full on in that direction, and others, it's going to be a degree of that. And obviously each to their own how they want to do it. There's no wrong or right way. For me, it's very much been a thing to keep the creative things more of a surprise. Do it on my own and then show you the end results, or at least the journey through the videos, right? When you see me build a farm, you know there's prep, you know there's other stuff going on in and around that, but I keep it to myself. And on occasion, we've done some creative work together on stream, which has actually gone really well. I remember this season, we did a couple of redstone gadgets, and maybe that's what I'll do for next season. Joe started doing his episodes during live streams as a time saver when he had limited time to devote to Hermitcraft due to his then full-time job. He just kept it up as his community enjoys it a lot, says Winnie. You'd probably have a better perspective than me on that. I'm aware that that's how it got started, though. I just figured that it was like his way of doing things to sort of show everything. But yeah, you know, if it works with a community, that's great. For me, I don't know. I'm quite a like time chunk oriented person, and I feel like in a way I kind of do that. I'm just not actually recording the episode. Like, usually my streams are related to things that I'm already doing in an episode. So it's like I'll come on stream and grind out a bunch of stuff that needs doing, if that makes sense. I want to plan out some larger scale builds based around objects so we can get 3D models of things and then build them up, but I haven't got an idea of a theme yet, so maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea just to have a chat on stream, brainstorm, figure things out. Now these objects would obviously need to be built outside and be very visible, because I'm also very torn about either building outside or building underground. And my philosophy on this is, when it comes to building, the less you have to do, the more you can do, which is, sounds a little bit strange, but essentially, if I have to build the outside of a building, then it's less time building the inside. If I have to build just the inside, I don't have to build an outside, i.e. playing underground, I can get more done. And if I play outside, so you see big buildings, I've never really played just building an exterior and then not the interior, and I never like the idea of that. It rubs me the wrong way to think that you're just gonna have a building and just have nothing inside it, you know? Xisuma says, iskall just gives up on Hermitcraft. Dang. Did you not watch his video that he put out a couple of days ago? He didn't give up on Hermitcraft. He got sick and then came back to the season in the midst of an event where, you know, the moon was ginormous and yeah, like, I think he explained himself pretty well. Not that he has to play Hermitcraft. Dang. I think sometimes you got to realise that comments like that can be pretty unhelpful for creators. I mean, there's an element of having a thick skin and not taking it personally, but those kind of comments, they tend to be a few too often, and it can get to your nerves when you read your comments and see stuff like that. Someone just painting you as giving up is pretty brutal. I mean, I'm gonna guess you probably like his videos as well. It's like maybe it's because you miss them that you say that, and that's perhaps not the best way to think about it. I did, but kind of sad NGL. What does NGL mean? You watched his video, not gonna lie. Oh, right. Well, you know, if you feel sad about it, that's perfectly fine, but don't put that on the other person, right? Like, that's just how you react to the situation. That's like your problem and not theirs, basically. Now, that might sound a bit harsh, but, you know, I'll point out that's probably because you really like his content, and that's a great thing. But you can be nice about it. Hey, iskall, I missed your Hermitcraft videos. I hope you get back on it soon. You know, encouragement, positivity, be constructive. Just saying that they give up on it when they explain themselves is just not fair, really, is it? He clearly articulated what happened, and yeah, reading comments like that's never going to help someone. Negativity isn't going to bring someone back, says Bear. Exactly. It's not like he's gone anywhere either, you know. He's just had a hard time with making videos of late. RFR08, thank you for 18 months of support, saying thanks for standing by iskall's side and motivate everyone to bring encouragement instead. I really appreciate it. Thank you for resubscribing, my dude. I appreciate that. Yeah, you've just summarised it very nicely. Stand by, motivate, encourage. That's the way you deal with things, you know. You can extend it to many things in life as well. That to support and encourage is far more constructive than to be, you know, critical and condemning all the time. Often simply expressing disappointment doesn't lead to constructive criticism. It's okay to be critical of things we like, but when the thing we like is a person, the most constructive thing we can do is to build them up, not tear them down. Incredibly well said, the drum kid. Very well said. I like that. Let me echo that sentiment. It's kind of annoying to keep talking about Hermitcraft when someone is playing something else, says Urias79. Yep, I know, but it's just what people do. They come here and they want to talk about the thing they're interested in, and I think that's alright. It's just, there's not a lot of consideration sometimes that other people will be doing that too. I mean, it's just one of those things. Sometimes you got to know your behaviour is going to be that thing that someone always asks, right? Like someone asked earlier, you know, when's Hermitcraft coming out? I'm like, oh, it's coming out. You know, like, that's my way of dealing with it. I troll, okay? Because I get that all the time. You know, every day on Twitter, in comments on my video, over here on Twitch chat. It's annoying. It's not anyone's fault for asking. It's just some people know that's the sort of thing you don't really need to ask, right? Because someone else has already asked it. Technically, it's someone's fault if it's in the FAQ and they still ask for it, says Jig Rabble. Yes. Again, it's a case of it's not really someone's fault. It's just that, like, some people don't think to go and look, and it can be frustrating when you put those tools there. It's like when someone asks me a question, or anyone gets asked a question, where the answer is literally just a Google search away. It can be irritating, it can be frustrating. On the flip side, though, I tend to ask people questions and stuff that I feel like I know I could spend some time like researching and figuring out myself, but I kind of get away with it sometimes because the people I'm asking like know that I'm busy or whatever. But that's just how it is. Or, you know, you ask someone something specific because you know they've got like the right skill set. I always laugh when I ask someone something, and as I finish asking, I realise the answer before they respond, says C1 Paddock. Hey, do you know what that reminds me of? I often have trouble figuring something out. Maybe it's like redstone, maybe it's some like YouTuber stuff I'm doing, I don't know, just general little things, and I get to a point where I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'll ask someone, and I usually find as I'm asking them, like my brain just seems to open up with an answer, and it's like, oh, there you go. And I tell you what, over the years, I have done that a crazy amount of times. No joke, just coming up with the answer moments after asking someone for help. The last time it was, I think the last time I can remember it happened, it was Cube Hamster. I asked Cube for a little help with some redstone, and then as I finished like typing out my message, it's just the answer popped into my head. I think maybe it's alleviating yourself of some sort of expectation to figure something out when you, in that moment where you're like, can you help? Then all of a sudden your mind just sort of clears up and actually figures out what the problem is. I don't know. It's definitely happened to me a crazy amount of times. It's called duck debugging. I've never heard that term before. That's a common thing for programmers. Most of them/us have rubber duckery to tell them the problem to have the same effect. Yeah, maybe it's also explaining the problem makes you think about it in a different way. That's an interesting thought. So you move to be like, look, here's all the components of this problem. Because when you explain it to someone, you probably have to withdraw from where you're currently thinking about it and break it all down into smaller components, right? And then in doing that, perhaps you show yourself the answer. Honestly, the amount of times I've done that, it's kind of ridiculous. It's just, I almost expect it these days. I'm like, okay, I'm going to ask for help, but then I'll probably figure it out. And then it's like, oh yeah, there you go. Sussed it out. Sometimes talking something over with someone also opens ideas you may not have come to yourself. Yeah, totally. Always a good idea to have a chat. I've had some talks recently that have just been illuminating, because when you engage with things with someone else, you can get ideas from outside your own little echo chamber of the mind, if you like. I don't think echo chamber is quite the right term, but that's something to know about. Leah, welcome to the stream. Saying sometimes it's nicer to hear someone say the same advice you've been telling yourself. It sounds different coming from outside yourself. Absolutely. That reminds me, I've been listening to this book called The Art of Not Giving a Fudge, and everything in it is like not new to me, but it reminds me of how good it is to hear the things you know kind of echoed back to yourself, but also in a different capacity. Seeing, you know, a painting through a different lens gives you a new perspective, that kind of thing. Love that book, says Fontanus. It's really good. It feels like one I might listen to again at some point, because a lot of that self-help stuff I've heard through different means, that take on it just feels so much more direct and practical. Did you censor yourself, or is that the actual book title? Oh no, I censored myself. I don't swear. I try not to swear much. You've made it to the end of the video, so if you'd like to keep listening to my thoughts and opinions, then YouTube reckons that you might like one of these videos. So have a look at the screen, give one of them a click, and thanks for watching.